What's up, Theory Masters? Miraculous Theory coming up for you today. It's about the Season 3 episode, Felix. So for those of you who don't know what Miraculous Ladybug is, let's start at the beginning. Hotmoth is actually, spoiler warning, Adrian's father, Gabriel, regressed. He has the butterfly Miraculous, which is a brooch that, when inhabited by the Kwame Nuru, grants him the power to send off little black butterflies that can grant people feeling emotional trauma any kind of power. But the power has to be because of their emotional choice. Because to solve a problem that they're facing. Now the thing is, in Felix is quite a unique episode. What most people don't know about the episode Felix is that Felix was originally meant to be one of the protagonists. Before the show got fleshed out a bit more, Felix was actually the Cat Noir, one of the two heroes, Ladybug and Cat Noir, that's the title. And Felix was like Adrian, who's the current Cat Noir, probably forever, but anyway. He was a bit of a... Let's look into Felix's character. Felix is a bit of a... lost his father not so long ago to Adrian's mother. Gabriel is trying to resurrect Emily Agrest using the Black Cat and Ladybug Miraculous, which we find out in yeah. Now what happens is, Felix is visiting Adrian. His aunt says, I thought it would be better if we were together on a day like today. Interesting thing though. I think they might have had a subplot motivation, and this is where things get interesting. The twin vaninnalilly rings, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. These rings have been in the Vanilli family for generations. That's the family that Emily was, Gabriel's wife, who married into the family and had Adrian. Now, some people think that most people just overlook the rings, but there's evidence that there's something else. You see, in an episode called not Time Tagger, in another episode in season 1, one of the characters, Alex, the sideline characters, she gets a watch, and that watch is for her birthday by her old father. The watch breaks, and Alice gets akumatized, and when Ladybug uses her Miraculous Ladybug, it gets repaired. But anyway, in the episode Time Tagger, that watch gets some more usage. It's revealed in Time Tagger that the watch Alex got was a bunny Miraculous, a Miraculous which grants the power to burrow, to go back in time, and by creating portals. Okay, so we know this has happened before, but here's what I'm thinking. The twin vanilla ring, let's go for a quick episode synopsis to save some understanding, get you understanding what I'm saying. Gabriel Agrest is welcoming Adrian's aunt and cousin. Emily is the aunt and Felix is the cousin. Anyway, in the episode, Felix puts on Adrian's friends, including Marinette, who's the protagonist, aka Ladybug, sends him a message to try and help him through this difficult transition on the day that his parents died a year ago. And Felix replies with a very horrible, very mean reply, pretending to be Adrian, because they kind of look like identical twins and he's got his clothes. Anyway, this proceeds for them to be akumatized, which means they go out and actively try to attack Adrian. Of course, Ladybug stops them, but Felix, being kind of a jerk, or not, jerk might not be the right word, jaded person. He's a very jaded person. What happens is he tries to give Hotmoth, Ladybug and Captain Wild's Miraculous, which is his ultimate goal so he can resurrect his wife. He tries to give them to Hotmoth, so, and I quote, so he can, I'm looking for a piece of jewelry too. And quite frankly, what could be so impressive about two wedding bands that he'd be willing to trade two Miraculous for them? Do you see where I'm going with this? The twin vanillary rings are Miraculous. Now, we learned in the episode Feast that there are a whole bunch of miracle boxes out there. I wouldn't put it past the showrunners to have another Miraculous from one of those boxes in the running and out in the world, probably being inherited, passed down from family to family. Like Harry Potter's invisibility cloak was cast down through the ages and through the Potter line, and the resurrection stone was passed down through the Gaunt line. You see, the resurrection, I've been thinking, what if the twin vanillary rings are Miraculous? And what powers would they have? I have heard people theorize that after the aim of Gabriel aggress Hotmoth is over, Lila is going to get the Butterfly Miraculous and Felix is going to get the Peacock Miraculous. It would fit the characters quite well, but what if he gets the twin vanillary rings, which are Miraculous? But I know what you're thinking. If the twin rings are Miraculous, why isn't Gabriel using them? Maybe they're and the answer? Maybe they're part of the ultimate plan. His final plan. And it's just waiting. And besides, even if they were Miraculous, I'm not sure someone even with Gabriel's expertise, which isn't as much as Master Fu, but Master Fu has now lost his memory, would know what they are. But if they're Miraculous, I hear you saying, why are there two vanillary rings? Well, there may be an answer for that too. What if the twin vanillary rings are a unique Miraculous that can be worn by two people at once? What if Felix, in the coming season 4, is going to use that Miraculous to accomplish, well, we really don't know what his end goals are, but is going to accomplish his end goals. We don't know what Felix will do if those rings are Miraculous and they are in his family. We don't know what he could do with those rings. And we don't know their powers, because I don't think it would fit anything in the Miracle Box. But it would make Felix a nice counterpart, even more of a counterpart to Adrian having a Miraculous. Because Adrian's Miraculous is a ring, and quite frankly, if Adrian has a cat Miraculous, what would be a good Miraculous for someone like Felix? Felix tends to have a way of getting things what he wants. But it seems to me like any Miraculous that's in that family, with the exception of the black cat, which Adrian has, but his father has no idea, is probably used to manipulate on emotion in some way. It's a very strong possibility that the vanilla rings will encompass that goal, And if you're, I know what you're thinking. If those rings are actually a miraculous, why don't they look like a miraculous? Why isn't the miraculous in use? Why is the miraculous not being used? Why can't we see that they're miraculous? Why can't we see the Kwame? Well, I think this miraculous is in camouflage mode. In Time Tagger, the episode where we find out that Alex's watch is actually the bunny miraculous, we do find out that his miraculous. It was a miraculous the entire time, but we also found out it was in camouflage mode, a mode used to hide that it's a miraculous. Granted, that opens them up to destruction as far as I can tell, but the point still stands. If the vanilla rings are the miraculous, that opens the way for a whole new wave of possibilities. It opens up Felix to have powers, and if the twin rings need 2 people to use them, I would say that he might partner up with someone. Who knows? Or maybe, we just don't know the powers of whatever this miraculous could be. Or even if it's miraculous. But I will say this. Whatever these twin rings are, it would be a waste of plot potential not to have them become important later. Thank you, I enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing.